And I want to be very clear. You can be against these people from other countries coming in here and not be a racist. You can be against people taking our social services and going on social services, going to our schools and taking advantage of all. They think freedom means everything's free. There's a reason why Rhode Island is a magnet in the national studies, because we're too generous with our social services. So all these people come in from other countries who don't belong here, and they immediately, start gouging the system. And we can't afford it. People talk about children and families. My main concern, even if Governor Chafee in that interview, I don't understand this whole thing. People against illegals living in Rhode Island, going to our schools, because we can't afford it. I don't know what part of that they don't understand. Rhode Island is broke. Providence is broke. Providence should go in receivership. But yesterday, this woman, Joan, that called and trying to compare, you have people literally coming over the border and making their way up north, where they know Rhode Island, way too generous. They have the translator down at the welfare office. They give them free housing, free food, free health care, free everything. Right? And you have, Providence is basically, in my opinion, it's a sanctuary city. And Governor Chafee has turned Rhode Island into a sanctuary state. And then you have people like this woman, Joan, who's attacking, the Italians. They came. That is so unfair. The Italians didn't go on welfare. The Italians, they were disadvantaged, but they worked hard. And they became part of America. They didn't say, well, I just want to gouge off the system, but I'm still just going to do my own thing. No, they sent their children to school to learn English and did it the right way and worked hard. So this foolishness where every time you mention illegals that are flocking to Rhode Island and putting us under, Governor Chafee saying, my greatest accomplishment is putting illegal aliens through college in Rhode Island for free. I mean, it is these people are delusional. But let's hear a cool one. This was Joan that called, attacking Italians. So, the Italians that came in, they were all illegal aliens. That is not true. These people make this stuff up. Let's hear a cool one.
Well, why did the Italians immigrate?
We're not talking about that. Why?
It's very similar.
Why is Rhode Island?
Italians came to this country for opportunity. Some came legally, and some came illegally.
The fact,
it's the same with what you were talking about. You talk about the Hispanic population. The same thing.
It's not the same thing. It is not the same thing. That was in the 20s. That was even in the 1880s and 1890s. You had to have a sponsor, right? You went through Ellis Island. How many people listening, you know the story of your grandparents coming over, your great-grandparents, and then maybe even your parents, and it was hard. And you had to have a sponsor. You had to, the Italians worked hard. And I'm not saying the illegals don't work hard. They do. And they do cram 12 people into an apartment. But the basic outright lies these people tell, they pay taxes, they pay sales tax every time they buy something. That is not the same. So this story that was in yesterday's Providence Journal about Stephanie Alvarez, Stephanie Alvarez. Rhode Island has land opportunity for many Latinos. They talk about how Rhode Island is the 12th most Latino state in the nation. She's part of the Latino community. I consider myself American, born in Colombia. She says she arrived here at the age of 6 months. We don't know when exactly she arrived here. Now, do we have a little bit of Stephanie Alvarez cool? And again, we invited her to call in at 438-9776. And before we play this, I want to be very clear. And I would say this to her if she were sitting here in studio today. You know where they need doctors? She wants to be a doctor. She's at CCRI. Says she's going to go from CCRI to Brown. Okay. Yeah, because that happens all the time. Listen, you want to be a doctor? Go to Columbia where they need doctors in Columbia. They need teachers. They need lawyers. They need honest politicians. What we don't need are more people taking space in social services here in Rhode Island. Let's hear Stephanie Alvarez from yesterday, Colin. Why is it that you feel that you should stay here?
I'm not really hurting anyone as of being here. I pay my taxes. I do everything that I should be doing. Only thing is that I don't have an actual status.
Right, because you were born in Colombia.
I was.
So you're not an American?
No.
No. And let me
Perfect.
ask you, what's that?
Per se, because I feel as an American.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody
we have
does.
a caller that asked, why doesn't she just apply for citizenship? How come you don't apply for citizenship?
If I were to apply for
Listen to
citizenship,
this.
I would have to leave the U.S.,
Yeah.
go back to my country.
Good. And you don't want to do that.
No, to stay there, and then the process would take longer, and then I have a son, and then plus school, it would just put me on hold.
Stop the tape, Cohen. You know what she's, and again, I'm not going to be harsh here, folks, but I'm just going to speak plainly. You know what it is basically what she's saying is because she doesn't want to follow the system. That's what it comes down to. I would have to go back to my homeland and follow the process and follow the rules, and I don't want to do that. And there are plenty of people in this country, in this state especially, that are going to help me not have to do that. You know, what they do is the advocates, they find someone like her, and she seems, you know, very polite, and she had a picture in the paper, and she seems very pleasant, and you would look at someone like this, oh, she wants to be a doctor, and say, oh, isn't that wonderful? But, folks, you know, you can't, if they start to stop people or arrest people or find people that are not following the law, does it really matter, you know, what clothes they're wearing, if they have a nice smile, if they say they want to be president of the United States or whatever? That's not what it's about. Rhode Island, opportunity for many Latinos, land of opportunity. But what does it say that so many citizens are leaving? Yeah, they're leaving, and look who's coming in. But people are leaving because of people like Stephanie Alvarez who are not following the rules. And I'm sincere. I don't think it's fair to drain their brain drain. You know, when you have all these different, and whether it be Colombia or, you know, wherever, pick a different country. She seems smart. If she wants to be a doctor, they need doctors there. They need teachers in these countries. Why is Governor Chafee selfish and wants to bring all their best and brightest and keep them here in the state? You know, every time you have these students that come from some of these countries and they go to Brown University or RISD or another college like that, they don't want to then return to their homeland. So we're taking all their A-plus students. And then, oh, I just want to stay in America and live here. Well, then what about your country, though? Then who's becoming a doctor in your country? Who's becoming a lawyer in your country? Do you think it's fair to compare the Italians and the Irish that came here, say, in 1920, as that woman Joan was trying to say? Oh, everybody's illegal. That is not true at all. And I resent that. See, they try to, oh, everybody's illegal. That is not the case at all. And all you're doing is enabling these people. That's how they try to blur the lines, right? And if you're against illegals getting in-state or coming here, well, you know, that's racist, that's bigoted. That's always the card they play. When in doubt, somebody wants to disagree, trot that out. That person's the new Donald Sterling. Governor Chafee, that's his greatest accomplishment, is giving illegals in-state tuition. I mean, that is pathetic.